Ever hear a question that sounds totally innocent, but your gut screams something's wrong? A soft tone, a harmless smile. Yet the second you answer, you realize you just stepped into a game you can't win. This is the art of the liar. They don't just lie with statements, they lie with questions. If you can't spot the disguise, you'll get trapped doubting your own reality, apologizing for things you never did, and fighting against yourself instead of them. Believe it or not, the ancient Romans called this out 2,000 years ago. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they warned us. A manipulator rarely attacks head-on. They plant tiny seeds of doubt and wait for you to do the rest. 2,000 years later, the game hasn't changed. It's just gotten more subtle. In today's video, we're breaking down the 5 most dangerous questions manipulators use to control you. More importantly, I'll show you how a Stoic would respond: calm, clear, and unshakable. By the end, you'll have the tools to make sure you're never anyone's pawn again. Stick with me. And if you find value here, hit subscribe. Not for me, but for yourself, so you don't miss the next lesson to sharpen your mind. Question 1. Why are you being so sensitive? At first, it sounds like they care, but don't be fooled. This is Gaslighting 101. Hidden inside that question isn't curiosity. It's an accusation. They're basically saying, "You're weak. You're making things up. The problem isn't me, it's you." Pause for a second. Think back. Ever been in a relationship where you pointed out a problem and they brushed you off with a laugh? "Oh, you're just too sensitive." Or at work you questioned a sketchy decision and heard, "Don't overreact, it's just business." That's not concern, that's a weapon. They're trying to strip away your best defense, your awareness. They want to take your sensitivity, which is actually your radar for danger, and twist it into a weakness. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Manipulators know this. They plant doubt in your head until you start believing you're the problem. But here's the truth. Sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awareness. People who feel deeply notice the cracks in the wall before anyone else does. Like the analyst who spots fraud when everyone else calls them paranoid, or the partner who senses a betrayal months before it comes out. That gut feeling, that's your early warning system. So what would a Stoic do? Marcus Aurelius said that if someone can show him the truth, he'll gladly change. But someone who values you won't shame you for noticing things. Only people hiding something are afraid of your perception. Next time someone drops the line, "Why are you being so sensitive?" Don't get angry. Don't defend yourself. Just look at them and calmly say, "I'm not being sensitive. I'm being observant." Does that make you uncomfortable? 1 sentence. Watch the mask slip. Question 2. You trust me, right? Sounds gentle, right? Innocent. But deep down, this isn't a question. It's a trap, because anyone who demands trust instead of earning it has already shown their hand. Think about it. A trustworthy person doesn't need to ask for your faith. Their actions do the talking. Consistency builds trust. But when someone stares you in the eye and insists, "You trust me, right?" what they're really saying is, stop thinking, stop questioning, just hand me the keys to your brain. Epictetus warned that you can't learn what you think you already know. Liars use this question to shut down your curiosity. They want you to feel guilty for being cautious, to make you feel like asking for proof is a betrayal. But caution isn't betrayal. Caution is wisdom. Like the business partner who won't show the numbers but says, "Trust me." Or the partner hiding their phone who asks, "Don't you trust me?" That's not building trust. That's demanding blind faith. How would a Stoic respond? Not with panic, not by getting defensive, but with apatheia, keeping your cool. When you hear, "You trust me, right?" Pause, breathe and say, "Trust is earned through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment?" That one line flips the script. Now the spotlight is on them. A liar will stumble or get mad. A person of integrity? They won't be offended. They'll just keep showing you they're worth it. Question 3. Are you accusing me of something? This one's clever. It looks simple, but it's a shield. It's a way to put you on trial. Here's the play. You Bring up a concern. Something doesn't add up. You ask a question. Suddenly they hit back with, "Wait, are you accusing me of something?" Boom! You're no longer the observer. You're the villain. The focus shifts off their shady behavior and onto you. You go into defense mode. You backpedal. No, that's not what I meant. And just like that, you've lost your power. Marcus Aurelius said the best answer to anger is silence. But in Stoicism, silence isn't surrendering. It's refusing to play their game. Think of a courtroom. If the guilty person can make the judge apologize, the trial is over. That's what this question does. So how do you handle it? With stillness. Next time someone snaps, "Are you accusing me of something?" Don't rush to fill the awkward silence. Hold your ground, eye contact, wait 2-3 seconds, then calmly say, "Should I be?" Just 3 words, but it puts the pressure right back where it belongs. Liars expect you to panic. They don't expect you to hold your power. Whether it's a boss asked about missing funds or a partner asked about secrets, truth doesn't panic. Wisdom doesn't apologize for seeing what's there. Question 4. Would I ever lie to you? This is poison wrapped in velvet. It sounds hurt, wounded, like you insulted them just by doubting. But ask yourself, why ask that unless they know you're getting close to the truth? Would I ever lie to you? Isn't a question. It's a performance. They want to look noble and make you look cruel. It's about guilt. If they can make you feel guilty, you'll stop digging. You'll shut down your instincts. The Stoics remind us that truth is never offended by scrutiny. If someone has integrity, they don't need to convince you they're incapable of lying. They just live honestly. Think real life. The partner deleting messages, the co-worker dodging blame. Come on, would I really lie? The more they plead innocence, the more you should question it. A Stoic doesn't take the bait. They don't scramble to reassure. Instead, use calm clarity. Next time you hear, "Would I ever lie to you?" Pause. Let the silence hang, then reply. That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did? That shifts the power. Liars thrive in the fog. They want you blinded. Your response turns on the floodlights. Honest people don't fear questions. Only liars do. Question 5. Can't we just move on? This is the last card in the deck. The desperation play. When denial fails, when distraction fails, they try exhaustion. Can't we just move on? Sounds like peace. It sounds like closure, but look closer. It's not about fixing things. It's about escape. They're saying, I don't want accountability. I just need you too tired to keep fighting. That's how lies survive. Not because the liar is smart, but because the truth seeker gets tired and gives up. For a Stoic, truth has no expiration date. It doesn't fade just because it's inconvenient. Whether it's a company trying to bury a scandal or a partner trying to gloss over a betrayal, "Let's focus on the future" is often code for "let's bury the past." How do you respond? Not with rage, not with an endless argument, with resolve. When they ask, "Can't we just move on?" Breathe and calmly answer, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." That sentence anchors you. It tells them you can't be rushed. Your peace is built on clarity, not fatigue. When you refuse to surrender, their game is over. Stoic mindset and conclusion. Here's the bottom line. Liars thrive on emotion. They don't need facts or logic. They just need you to lose your balance. They use guilt, shame, and exhaustion to control you. This is where Stoicism is your shield. Epictetus taught us to know what is in our control and what isn't. That distinction is freedom. When they try to guilt you, their feelings aren't your responsibility. When they call you too sensitive, remember, awareness is a strength. When they try to wear you down, remember, truth has no deadline. Don't react at their pace. Observe, breathe, choose your response. Imagine standing in a storm, winds howling, thunder crashing, but you remain unmoved. That is the Stoic mind. The manipulator's weapon only works if you give them a reaction. Take that away, and the weapon shatters. You now know the moves, you know the traps, but you're no longer a pawn. You are the player. You don't need to shout or rage. You just need to see clearly. You aren't cruel for having standards. You aren't weak for noticing deception. You are awake. And in a world of shadows, the awake are feared. Walk like a stoic warrior, calm, observant, unshakable. If this hits home for you, tap like, subscribe to the Stoic Strat, and share this with someone who needs it, and drop a comment with just 3 words. I choose clarity. Use arrow up and arrow down to select a turn, enter to jump to it, and escape to return to the chat.